welcome. Hello everybody, this is your Raw Report of the Ultra Maximus, welcoming you once again to this fantastic episode of the Raw Report. What is the Raw Report, you might ask? Well, this is where I flex my brain muscle, and it's kind of like an open mic for you guys. So if you are in the live chat, you are able to chat with me and everybody else watching this video interactively. So welcome to the flagship pickup video here on the Ultra Maximus channel. I am again your host, the Ultra Maximus, and I'm very humbled to have you here. So without further ado, we're going to get into this. So the Raw Report, you know, I might have some slides to share with you guys. I thank you all for subscribing to this wonderful channel because, you know, the 1,000+ giveaway is the Ultra Box. I have a care package inbound from my buddy Mel. I have a couple other hoops to go through. Unfortunately, I am out of work due to vehicle in for servicing, and it's not necessarily looking good for my ability to purchase some comics at the moment. But you know what? I already have purchased some, so there's already some en route. But that Ultra Box is going to be getting filled with some things, and Lucas has got me covered on the shipping, and it's the giveaway of giveaways. So subscribe to this channel and find out more information on how to win that. Our wonderful soundtracks provided by the wonderful people over at White Bat Audio, and that would be royalty-free, copyright-free music. So please be sure to check them out, subscribe, and of course White Bat Audio is also found on Spotify and whitebataudio.com. The man, the myth, the legend, the rock star, Rookie of the Year 2021 from Junkin Chats, Melcasts. This is your buddy, Curtis Eric, who does exceptional logo work. Make sure you hit him up if you need some logos. And of course, the Super Chat is inactive due to the monetization inspection. So now you guys know how it goes. This is the whole reason I have to incorporate with an LLC in order to collect the funds that are being saved. So basically, there's a bank of savings that you guys are giving me right now by watching commercials on the channel. So the channel is technically still monetized. I just can't get paid off of it yet until I do all this back end work. So you guys help me out by watching all those commercials, and I do appreciate you doing that. And then of course, if you did feel the need to be frisky and support the comic book journalism endeavor that is Ultra Maximus and this channel, paypal.me/UltraMaximus, and all funds currently are being diverted towards the LLC. So I appreciate any donations that come that way. Now, of course, click the notification bell for notifications. And, of course, the subscribe is the best thing to do. Because it's the only way you're going to get when I go live. I'm going live at weird times, right? And let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, there's G-Money Rocks in this. Checking this out before you go to work. Well, you know what? I hope to deliver with some very interesting things. So you guys know when I do pickup videos, I'm showing you guys stuff that I'm buying. Not necessarily stuff that's been on a spec matrix either, or it might have been on one previously. Who knows? But this is also how you know who is the snake oil salesman. Are they selling the spec they're selling you, or are they buying the spec they're telling you? You know what I'm saying? Yes, Kitty. I got my Ultra Cat in here. So good to see you in the live chat there, G-Money. And, of course, for all of you else, if you're watching this one on the rewind, don't forget to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of the pickups. And then let's get into this. So today is the day you guys get a Raw Report. And it's been a while. I think 121 was the last one. So, yeah, you know, like 3 weeks. 3 weeks worth of pickups. And the pickups, of course, have been pretty good. So let's see what we've got from the locals. Now, pickups are going to be something that I consider I am able to drive to one of the many LCSs around me, and I'm able to literally pick up in hand. I'm able to go into a store, be like, bam, thank you. You know, so, and Massive, thank you for joining. And yes, it is the Midday Ultra. May the Maximus blessings be upon you. And happy Valentine's Day to you guys. Of course, you guys are the second love behind my wife. Don't tell her. So I appreciate all the love that you guys show me too. So let's get into this. So we're going to change up because I can't really show you much from the little box. So let's go to the big box here. Big old full screen Maximus. Oh, look, you get to see my dirty room and all that other stuff. Just kidding. All right, so first up on the stack of pickings, that is, again, I need to organize this way. I keep transferring books when I'm ready. Okay. See? You guys are going to love this. Eddie Bear in the house. Good to see you as well, sir. All right. So, as you guys know, I got a little thing for Red Kryptonite. Now, unfortunately, I think there was some missed shippings and stuff like that, and I missed out on the 1 in 25, and now it's one of those. Oh, because it's rare, it's bananas. Got those people out there trying to set the market with a advertised $300 price, but they got a best offer accepted. And you guys know how the best offer games go. So if it shows best offer accepted, it might not actually sell. And there's some you guys know the drunken chat term for that one. There's effery afoot. But I'll be on the lookout for one of those. And of course, if any of you guys find a lead on one, feel free to message me. Now, announced going for the second printing, and of course I'm going to probably have to pick up the blue background one too, just because it's the second print. Well, here is your red pill of the Bolt, Mary Jane, and Black Cat Beyond, #1. So for those of you following me on Twitter and follow that link in here, I actually did receive Super Soldier injections numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yes, yes, 7. No, actually, wait. No, I got 4 in the lower back last time. I got 1 in the shoulder today. And then I got another 4 in the neck and cervical area. So, pain numbing. Here we go! So, you know. And also what's pretty numb right here is the fact that there's not a lot of people who really caught the risque variant here. So Draculina #1. I'm still trying to find out, has she had a comic before this one? She's been out since 1972, Vampirella's sister. But no comics for her? So you guys know if it's been 3 weeks since the last time I gave you a Raw report, there's probably going to be some heat. There's been so many hot books. I don't know if they're flavors of the week, right? Or they true FOMO, or are they real hotness? Well, the only cover I was able to grab was Black Panther #3, the Gary Frank. And I'm sorry, I looked at all of them artistically, and I was like, you know, artistically, the Frank's the one to have. So I get everybody out there. It's like, oh, but look at the A cover. It says new hero inside, and like all sorts of other, you know, there's like a lot of excuses people make. Kind of like how cameos aren't as valuable as first fulls when the cameo is like a full page spread. I say my name, and they're like, no, he's not. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Like people always want to discount it just because they miss out. Well, you know, that's not how we roll. You know, I say buy them both. I mean, that's really what's going on. So, Omar, good to see you. Good to see you. So, obviously, I did all right with the Black Panther 3s. Yes, that's right. That is right. You are Small Panther. That's right. I get it. That's right. However, and another Avengers Forever. And there seems to be some people stating that there's a little bit of tie-in to this story and where they went. So I don't know if this is going to be more to take a look at. Sounds like it might be. Yes, and there's actually a couple of my pickups behind me, but it's cool. We'll get to them later. And of course, the only way I was able to nab a copy of this book was this Rogue. And because I know it's a Rogue variant. Do you guys know what common sense is. Sometimes I have it, you know, when it comes to just being like, oh, that's the road variant. Had it one other time, and I felt really, really good about it, even though I had overpaid for it at the time. Because, whoa, what does the sales do after that? But I did kick myself for not buying a second copy at another store, being like, man, it's saying here, it's overpriced, man. But it's okay. It's okay, because you can't win them all. And if you try to win them all or think you're going to win them all, then, you know, you're not gonna. And you're going to actually end up losing more than you win. And then you might follow some people with some long ideas, but with some short-sighted methods. I love you guys. All right, so on with the Vampirella Valentine's Day Special. So this right here is, of course, the wonderful Souza Monk. Wonderful Souza. You know, Drunken Chat might know something a little bit about that. Just a little bit. Someone might have done a spec matrix on that character, that artist, right? Yeah. Good stuff. And then you know what else is good stuff? This facsimile right here, I think, is a good idea for those of us who purchased the second print and then sold the second print way too early, before all this Spider-Verse animated stuff happened, and actually gave them an opportunity to go, wow, people really like Spider-Gwen. And of course, Spider-Gwen then, you know, evolved into an insanely popular character. Now, one of these books I was lucky to get, but the only way to get it was unfortunately with a little bit of damage, so it's not even a near mint copy, but it is in the collection as a placeholder, and this is what happens sometimes too. So the way that I do collect books sometimes, of course, is I kind of set collect. So let's start off on the set of throwback covers. This is one of the cooler Iron Man throwback covers, of course. This one right here. So Iron Man number 16 with the classic Homage variant cover. I'm surprised that there's not more people like realizing that it's it's a Tales of Suspense to his first appearance homage. The same way there's this right here, and then of course the Death of Doctor Strange number 5 with this throwback homage to the Wizard and Paste Pot Pete and the Human Torch. So that's that classic homage variant cover, and then of course we have the wonderful, the amazing Spider-Man number 86, giving us the Amazing Spider-Man 362 homage cover. 362. And then of course the first issue of Captain America homage. And this is your Captain America and Iron Man variant for that Tales of Suspense. It's pretty cool. I think this is one of this and the Iron Man are definitely the really, really good ones of the bunch so far. Now, of course, this Thor, obviously, I mean, it's not too shabby. It's a recreation of his first appearance, right? The Mighty Thor. So this is the one that unfortunately is not near mint. It has a tiny little tear at the top because of a ding. I can press out the ding, but it's a corner impact, and like their entire Penguin case was kicked in, and Penguin Random House is like, no, we're not warrantying or replacing any of these books for you guys, so have fun with that. So it's really it really kind of sucks when that happens, and he's like, dude, it's cover if you want it. I know the book's taken off. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. But it's definitely a good placeholder to put a book in lesser than desirable condition until you can find one in better condition. And trust me, sometimes it might take you years until you can find one. But yeah. And then another of the good swipey swipes, of course, was this X-Men Legends with the swipe of New Mutants 98. Now, why this is actually prevalent to the story going on here, because New Mutants 98 actually takes place after the story inside of here. So for those of you New Mutants fans, remember the Liefeld era of New Mutants is basically 85 for the cover, 86 for the cover and guts, and then from there on he did, you know, a random you know, filler pencil had to be done by somebody else, you know, because of whatever was going on with them planning the launch of X-Force and stuff like that. So there is a filler story, of course, with the New Mutants in another costume set before the Extinction Agenda takes over. So this is kind of like right around there. This is before, you know, Wolfsbane's taken and kind of twisted by the Genosians and turned into a mutate. So I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on in this book, and this is what I like about X-Men Legends. So if you guys remember X-Men Classic sometimes actually has filler stories that only appear in there. So you guys know I'm a fan of a couple of those books. So on with the good stuff here, and shout out to my buddy the Ninth Wonder, because he is a fan of this artist here who had a sneaky open order variant cover that didn't have artwork shown before FOC. And there is also a David Mack 1 in 25 that I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, dude. David Mack, your art's good, but this is not as good as this. This is definitely, in my opinion, the best of the covers. And again, you guys know how I like to roll. I like to roll with, you know, kind of on the rarity side and best art, just because I think those two things are always a play. But FOMO buys do happen, like the stack of Raza covers that were on there. But this Raza Alien variant, I don't even collect or read the Alien books, but this is like, dude, like if you look at it up close, because it's really hard to see on TV or on your computer screen, this cover in person, the details are like purplish because it's multiple of the xenomorphs all around the side of it, and that does make the alien-shaped head on the inside there. So it's very tough to see the details sometimes, but if you look closely at it in person, it is insane. And of course, what more would you expect from Raza, right? So again, artistically collecting, that's a little bit of how I've stayed safe in the years, I think. Now, this next set of books, so yeah, you guys know I bought two of them. There's a reason for this, because the duo of Laura and Gabby cannot be matched by very many other mutants in the X titles, because they're sisters. They're legit mutant sisters, right? I mean, clone, whatever you want to call it, you know, they're still sisters. Like, Gabby has a completely different personality than Laura. She's a different mutation than Laura. So it's like, was she one of the other X clones? And like, how did that all go down? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm pretty sure they talked about it in some previous books, but right now it's been memorable by me. 91 Purple Raven, good to see you. So I love this this Stormbreakers variant. So if you guys remember this one, this is X Lives number 1. Killer. And then, for being that guy, for going into the LCS on the Wednesday of release day, being like, guys, did you see what they did last night? Or yesterday, or 2 days before. They revealed the cover art, and then they closed FOC. Or they closed FOC, and then they revealed the cover art the next day. And then everybody was like freaking out. So then I went into the LCS. I was like, dude, make sure you guys up your order for that. And can I get one? And they're like, you're not asking for more? I'm like, nah, just need one. And he's like, man, we only had 3 ordered. Like, initial orders were only 3. So they bumped their order. And I guess because of who they are, or I guess, you know, where they are in the food chain, I guess they didn't get allocated as badly. I think they did get allocated, they said, but they didn't well, let's just say they didn't short me, and I got mine for cover because, of course, I was that guy that went in there and said, whoa. Now, if you guys watch the secret variant, if you don't know what that is, that's the LCS final order cutoff, or whatever ordering capacity you have. So whoever you're ordering your books from, you've got a couple of hours maybe to get in an order. So if you go back and watch that episode of the secret variant that just aired last night, you're golden. All right. So moving forward, that is the end of the local pickups. So that's the end of that section of books, right? So what does that mean? What does that mean? I gotta change screens of what it means. But it's not the end of the show. And just because it's not the end of the show, it just means it's the end of that segment. So this means that it's time to change gears, and now we get to take a look at some of the books that I have been gracious enough to have delivered to me by a wonderful UPS delivery person. I use UPS priority mail when I ship my books, whether it be on Whatnot or on eBay, and of course I haven't really been active on either of them, but you know what? I haven't been active on the selling side. But I'll be out there finding things, as you guys know. And yes, the only way to figure out what those things are, you should subscribe. So let's take a look at the mail drops. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. So this is going to get ill. I promise you guys, it's going to get ill. So I gotta shuffle the books around and give me some space. Give me some space. And I should have gotten up and gotten the two books that are behind me, but you know, we're just going to go ahead and talk about those in a minute. Can't see them because they're shielded here. They're shielded behind the live chat. So if you know what those books are behind me, you know I'm a fan. Now, just because I was able to secure one at the LCS, I didn't know I was securing one at the LCS until after I'd secured one online. So now, I am fortunate to have a pair. I'm very fortunate to have a pair. Yes. And you know what? Valentine's Day special and all, and behind me, hidden by the live chat, is actually the 1 in 20 resting comfortably on the secret press location. And this right here is, of course, the trade dress of that variant, but of course the 1 in 20 incentive was quite the hit. And you know what else is crazy? Someone actually sold a set. I saw a set sell. Now, sell, I'm going to use the quotations because we all know how that goes. A set sell for like $276, and that was a cover, 1 in 11 sketch, and then the 1 in 20 virgin. So, good luck to you guys out there. If you're on the hunt and you know a big dynamite store that nobody shops at, you might be able to go and get yourselves a nice little Sozo mic variant cover. Excellent work. And then, of course, pad the order. Just remember this, everybody. When you get high ratio incentives like that, or incentives that you're going to be like sketched out about, pad the order. You know, I wasn't sure if my LCS was going to have any on the shelf, and of course, you know, I'm a big fan of the New Mutants and the late New Mutants period, the Liefeld accurate stuff, and got me some Secret X-Men. And if you read Secret X-Men and you're an X fan, you're going to be pretty excited about where that's going. Now, the Ivan Reis, number 3, 1 in 25. Killing it. Really is killing it. You know, because now that this guy's got himself an official, he is the Moon Knight of this issue. Mind blown, right? Like, we got another Moon Knight. So, is he going to get killed by this special agent coming out of the online only and then collected edition only appearance of a new villain? because he's not really that new, but he's kind of new because he's only had one appearance prior to this. And shout out to Gary, the comic perspective on that one, because he definitely knows what's going on. He knows what's up. So, Marauding. First volume of Marauding is over. And currently right now, again, you guys know I had injections 11 a.m. today. So 4 hours ago, they were shooting that super soldier serum into me. So it's going to be interesting to see. But here's how you go marauding. Proper. And Emma Frost here. Emma Watson with blonde hair should play Emma Frost. Is that what I'm hearing? I think that's what I'm hearing. But no, Emma leads the Hellfire Club in that issue. So there's a lot of like chess pieces being moved around in the X books, and but what I do like is there's still and yet another Hickman book that is coming out, and that's one that I talked about on FOC Secret variant yesterday, and you still again have a couple hours to talk to your LCS about that. Now, somebody might tell you I'm a little bit of a Transformers fan. I don't know what will give that impression or give you any idea that I like Transformers in the slightest bit. If one of you guys can see what's around the computer wall here, I've got I got another 6 like really cool looking Transformers things. But anyway, this is how I roll. So when the Wreckers, which is again, I want to give a shout out to my App Invasion gamer buddies, the Wreckers. We used to run it on a Transformers mobile game for your phones, and when I got a Samsung Galaxy S5, and it was a faster processor than most of the other players on the other teams had, it was smoked the competition. I was like, oh my god. And it's one of those, pressing buttons games and shit like that, but I could like process it a lot faster, like beat the game and rack up points, man. And it's definitely very interesting to see how far we've come. But the Wreckers themselves actually have another volume of books. It's not the same as the one that a snazzy guy named Ultra Maximus wrote an article for comicbookspeculation.com. But that was years and years ago. But maybe you should go check out that article, because it's basically telling you why the IDW IDW Generation 1 version of the Wreckers, co-written by Nick Roche and James Roberts, with art by Nick Roche, is probably the Watchmen level book of Transformers. I kid you not. It's definitely like, it's hardcore. It'll blow your mind a little bit, and you don't really necessarily need to read a lot of other Transformers books to realize what's going on in it. But it is basically special ops, and if you guys are into like special ops books with a lot of violence, lots of like mental ramifications and like pissed offness, it's got you. So, yep, continuing on with the wonderful, wonderful soiree of recent heat, this Venom number 4. So everybody's now, again, this is now the first full, and the cameo is in first. Or that one's the second appearance. Whatever that means. So, yeah, I'm somewhat digging a little bit of the Venom. A little bit. Not like 100% like, oh my god, Venom's the best thing ever, but I'm digging it. And of course, this classic variant will go very nice with the complete set that I'm trying to assemble. And this wonderful black 9.8 candidate copy came through the mail. Oh my gosh. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So it was instantaneously Mylard, of course, once it reached its home. And then, let's see here. So here we have the Dr. Aphra number 18 variant edition. I don't know why. I think this one was book order padding as well, and I think it did alright. Did alright. So these next books are actually part of a set. And issue number 1 happens to be behind me. And here is where I may have to break some sharks' hearts. Because we're not quite sure what's going on with this book. If it is, dare I say it, PTO. And that's not paid time off. But there's a chance that this book might be PTO, everybody. So it is the first published work of the tremendous Sozo Micah. So black as fuck, Devil's Die miniseries. Over here in the live chat right there is issue number 1, and then here is issues 2, 3, and 4. And I had ordered these from out of town at a Honey Hole comic shop, and I ordered them with a Commanders in Crisis number 1. And they sent me the A cover, not the variant cover, to go with my Sozo set. So I was Sozo denied, which is a shame. But it happens every now and then. And of course, this Honey Hole has blessed me with books that weren't my ratio, if you know what I mean. Like, what? Like, what, dude? What did you do? On the upside. And so sometimes you gotta just remember, sometimes they're having a bad day, but that should be a book you should still be able to find. Okay? And then, of course, now we're getting into some goods. Now we're getting some real goods. Now, of course, for those of you guys who follow me on IG, you're going to be a little bit spoiled, of course, because I've shown some of these books to you guys. But for everybody else who follows me on YouTube and other places, well, this is a book that I had gotten to pair with a book that I got from the Stan Lee booth at MegaCon years ago. So one of the last times Stan Lee came through before he passed, I did go to his booth, and I could hear him speaking behind it, and you know, the crowd joking with him and stuff like that. I didn't get a chance to actually go into that event, but the booth outside was selling books, and they were sold out of quite a few books. Now, I did buy 2 copies of the Amazing Spider-Man 501 Mary Jane cover, and I had actually sold 1 copy. I really regret that. It was at a time when I had to sell books, so I sold that 1 copy, and I've kept 1 for myself. However, now I have the ultimate pairing book that would go well with that book no matter what. And if you didn't know about this book, well, there's a trade dress version of this book that exists. And then, San Diego Comic-Con, 1,000 copies. And I don't know if you guys know about the signed ratio for a lot of Campbell, con exclusives. It's nuts. Most of them do end up getting signed at his conventions because he's usually at a larger convention where Signature Series is one of his the witnesses are there. So be on the lookout for that kind of stuff, guys. It's cool. And I was able to nab the Felicia. So if everybody doesn't know about this one is the companion to the Jeff Scott Campbell 501. And there we see our old boy Pete the Swinger swinging right there. And of course the Cat Noir poster up on the back side of this thing is also mega fire. That is right, Eddie Bear. This thing is flaming, just mega fire. And the Campbell effect also does not ever cease to amaze me. So don't forget to put the 2 of those books together and have a wonderful time with your cup of coffee. So the final book on the basic, before I do open chat and just interact with you guys in the live chat, you can ask me some stuff and we'll sit here and bullcrap for a little bit. But the final book of pickups, before I get back into showing you some slides and we'll do the chat stuff, like I said, is actually something that has a lot of history. And again, if you follow me on IG, I may have spoiled you with this just because I was super giddy, because it's basically what I saved the book for last is a Grail. If you guys don't know about my Grails, well, there's a couple of them. And I saw some people talking about, what is a Grail? A Grail, to me, is a book that you always wanted and it was unobtainium. Now, how about this? How about a book that is randomly inserted with other possibilities, of course? not just this cover. So you had this cover, and then let's say you had a couple other covers that could be a possibility of a random getting of if you purchase something. And if that was something that eluded you as a kid and you were only able to obtain it as an adult and you successfully obtained one, I call that collecting the Grail. So that's what we're talking about right here. So back in the days, and I actually have my original game. We are going to talk about this here real quick. I have my original game. This is my original X-Men Alert that I got for Christmas as a child in the 1990s. Believe it or not, Ultra is human, and he did actually have a childhood at one point. Now, that is my X-Men Alert. And look, I'm not kidding. This thing is still got pieces to it, bro. Still got the board game. So for those of you who know what this Pressman thing is, this X-Men Alert board game here is actually a board game that has these figurines that are X-Men. Even Archangel got his wings and everything. Professor X has got his chair, you know, the Jim Lee designed floating chair and stuff like that. And of course, there's all the stuff to go along with it, cards and everything. So this was a part of my childhood. So when I got this game as a kid, I ended up with the Uncanny, I believe it was 304 cover. That's the one where Ileana dies. So that was the one that I got. But you know, the one that I wanted, and I think the one that everybody had wanted at one point, was this one, because it's the Jim Lee one. So I was blessed to be able to get across, yeah, the 303, that's right. So this one right here is the X-Men 11 second printing Jim Lee. This is a tough 9.8. Like I kid you not, guys. This thing slid around inside that box. Most of those comics are like 7.5 before pressing. Some of them will be lucky to get it to a 9.0 after a good pressing. And Eddie Bear is even like, wow, a 9.6. So it's like, dude, I know how like tough a 9.8 is in this book, and I found a 9.6 for an insane good deal. And I was like, dude, this is what I got in the PayPal, and I sent him an offer, and he accepted instantly. I was like, oh. So it was one of those things. You guys know when it's meant to be, when that comic karma comes around and things really go your way, and you get a win. This is a win. I'd had a raw copy of this book for like $75 escape me, and that one looked like a 9.8 candidate. I mean, like, it looked like a flawless copy. But you can't win them all. You cannot win them all. But I got a 9.6 with a custom, a giant size X-Men label on it. That works for me, especially it being a Grail book, because this again was the book that I desperately wanted as a kid. I was like, man, I really hope I get that silver X-Men 11, but didn't get it as a kid. I've long since sold the Uncanny 303, the Death of Ileana. But, maybe one day I'll get the rest of the Pressmans together. Maybe one day this one, let's just say, I don't know if this bad boy has been pressed. I can see why it would get a 9.6, but I have seen worse 9.6s. So, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't think it'll 9.8. If I crack press and resubmit it, it'll probably 9.6 or worse. They'll give me a 9.4 or 9.2. Just be like, hammer them. But you know what? I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm very, very, very happy with a 9.6 because, of course, it's a Grail. Just like the Cable that I have. I have a Cable Mark Jeweler that's a 9.4. Now, I was going to send it to somebody to have him crack press and clean it for me, and it's got some, some smudging and some things on it that could definitely be improved. But they ended up being cocky and blocking me on IG because they got a what's it called? It's an ego. Let something go to their head. But I don't think I'm at that level of pressing and cleaning to do that kind of like deep down kind of corrections and stuff like that. But I might take it to a professional and see if there's a possible grade bump involved in that one too. But placeholders are cool, guys, especially when you get something that you consider a Grail, like I consider this one a Grail. So I hope on this Valentine's Day, you guys get your Grails. So for me, many years ago, I bought a car on this day. So the last time I bought a brand new car was on Valentine's Day many years ago. And then I proceeded to drive that car, fucking drove the wheels off at 54,000 miles on 1 year. 1 year. So, and I was still living at home, but I was working 55 miles one way. So 110 miles a day just to work. And then on top of work, you did, some hanging out with some friends because you're young and you're like, I don't want to go home. I want to go out and go to the bar, go drink and go hang out with some girls. And I've since retired from that life. As you guys know, I am now the Ultra Maximus. But, so what do you guys think? I hope I have entertained you with my crazy amount of pickups. And yeah, like I said, that's like 3 weeks worth of books. I've got, of course, like I said, behind me right here. Yeah, right there. Sozo variant, 1 in 20. Fuego. So, yeah, other than that, I hope all is well with you guys in your world. I was able to get this video done and out of the way before I have to go pick up the kid and pick up the wife, and then we're gonna go have a good Valentine's Day as a family, and hopefully the kid goes to bed. You know what I mean? And then for all you other adults out there, I hope you're having a good one. For otherwise, let's just talk about a couple of things, and then if you guys want to ask me some questions along the way, I'll answer. So make sure you guys, of course, have subscribed, of course, to catch the next episode for when I go live. And don't forget about our buddies over there at comicbarricade.com, giving you the best in keeping your books upright. And you can use this code ULTRA to get you 10% off of your order. WantedComics.com. Now, whether you're buying from them, via their website, which is always a great place to shop for them, you can always do so by finding a rare book that happens to have their name next to it when you're shopping on eBay as well. And rest assured that book's going to be packaged like a pro. Drew is indeed top tier in the comic book world. Of course, you guys know I got some other videos out there that do showcase a lot of cool books. I think these two have the most spec-worthy covers and guts too, like as far as books that sell for money that have potential to be found in your back issue bins because they are 7 years old at this point. And of course, make one of those videos go viral, baby. That's a year's salary for a normal hardworking individual such as myself, and that would help me drop more content, which would be amazing, right? And of course, the next episode of the Raw Report is the only way that you can get inside of this crazy mind when it comes to books that I'm picking up, specking on. Why am I specking on them? Why am I buying them? Well, usually if I'm buying them, there's a reason, unless I am just doing a rampant buying session just because I got gaps in a collection I'm trying to fill or something. You guys know what I mean. And then again, that's always because it's new pickups and mail drops on the Raw Report, so check that out. And of course, Raw, because it's unscripted, genuine, from the heart. And of course, that's also where the speculation matrix comes from, when I break open the matrix of leadership and I expose all the good spec that I can possibly find. Oh, look at there, there's the Raw Report again. And then Twitter tag me if you see anything cool, like X UltraMaximus X dot. Yeah, not dot. X UltraMaximus X. That's the Twitter. ULTRA MAXIMUS on IG and Facebook. Facebook's also weird too. They made me do that new profile conversion for the pages. So it's like I have to actually sign in to the other page before I can see things. It's getting harder to share cool stuff. They're just basically cracking down and making it stupid to use. Anyway, I do appreciate any of the follows, no matter where they are. And of course, follows are always appreciated. And of course, you get some of the goods, of course, exclusively, no matter where you follow me. And then I should have a triumphant return to Whatnot coming soon. And then try to pull some books and organize a sale. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the show here today. And of course, it's time for your comments. Time for your comments in the live stream. If you are in the live chat, let's talk about it. Before I sign off, at least. So I'm going to sit here and, we're going to ask me anything. This is one of the rare opportunities you get to ask Ultra anything you want, and I'll honestly answer you. You know why? Because again, 11 o'clock this morning, I was getting an injection of super soldier serum in my shoulder and neck. Negative. I am not and massive. Nope. Yeah, so Brad, to me, it seems like the way that they're going to go with it is Tom Cruise is the superior Iron Man who figured out an Iron Man armor that was capable of not dying with the Infinity Stones, and he didn't need the Avengers. He figured it out all by himself, and then he also builds an army of Ultrons, and they look a little bit more like the classic Ultron, if I do say so. So Captain Carter's shield was, of course, in one of those, but I also saw what I thought was two swords on the back of somebody walking by, which would have been Deadpool walking up towards Professor X while they're on the Council of the Illuminati. The whole thing with Professor X's voice is we should tell him the truth, happening right there at that moment. You know how Marvel plays us, man. That line may happen. That line may happen in the movie, but it may not happen right there. So I don't want everybody to get really on their hopes up. Of course, misdirection is the key to everything. They're getting you guys to buy before you can even confirm. You're causing a frenzy in books, and I don't play that game. Me personally, I only buy when the spec is a lot better looking than some manipulated videos or sound clips. But don't get your hopes up on Captain Carter happening. I mean, that's just one of the shards of time that we've already seen in the What If series too. So according to what we're seeing, the What If is canon. Because basically the Doctor Strange that we're seeing, I believe, is the one from the What If that we've already seen. You combine with another Strange, his other half. So that's crazy. But there's a lot going on there. And we already know that Tom Cruise has been rumored heavily, especially with leaked appearances of things. And now they're also talking about Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine, which would be mind-blowing. It's like they can do anything and we're going to love it. Just because they're going to be involving anything mutant, we're going to love it. If we just heard Professor X or variant of him, we are going to absolutely love it. So no matter what, I'm all in. You guys know me. I'm a total, outside of the love for Transformers that I have, I am a total Marvel homer. I just absolutely love the Marvel product. Most of the stories reminisce again to links back to my childhood and being able to read those books in my early days. And sorry, it just takes me back, and that's why they're my favorite. But right now I have a child who is loving Teen Titans Go. So we'll see. We'll see. I know it's not Marvel, but I'm just happy he's into stuff. But he's also into Spider-Man. He's got a lot of good influence around too, of course, with keeping the proper age group worth of things in his direction. So what else you got, chat? What else? Got a couple minutes. I'm not taking a nap this afternoon, so. Oh, Louis. I'm on shirt number 2 from Target, bro. Shirt number 2. The first one I got, it wasn't pressed as dark, and it lightened up a super ton. Like my wife's like, I'm also a 2X because I'm tall. I'm 6'3". So she's like, that thing's turning into a crop top the more I wash it. So like they did the old turn the fabric sideways, even though it's a 2X and it should have more fabric going this way and should stretch, it should stretch the other direction, but no, the fabric was stretching the other direction. So I got robbed. Man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. That one's impossible to answer. You know why? Because right now, Agents of Atlas would kill that Strange Academy spec. Just because look what's going on with a book that's dropping this week, leaking all over the internet already. Do I need to say more? I mean, I went and got the reprint of his first appearance that is reprinted in English, but that is his first appearance reprinted in English. His first appearance in comics in Marvel is, of course, that Agents of Atlas. So do with that what you will. Next, what else you got? You guys sharing, I see my viewers are going up. You guys sharing the fact that I'm just doing open mic, letting you guys comment at me. Share it with people. Say Ultras, Anton, and Crestfins that, you probably wouldn't normally answer when people IG bomb me. Ask me the questions that you would want to ask me via IG, but I put a stop to. That's a good one. Because as you guys know, I couldn't keep up. Like as soon as I started like doing like more and more spec-worthy stuff, like I had people bombing me in there. Whew. All right, so Marvel Man, the gauge on how well the Tosin Black Panther 3 second printing cover does is going to be gauged upon how well the Black Panther number 3 first printing non-incentives do. We have a lot of people trying to hype up that incentive variant, but let's just be honest. It's not the best looking cover. Like if you were to lay down all the covers and there was no incentive variant related to it, you would think that the number 1 A cover and then the 1 in 25 would have been the B because they're very much related, similar characters, X-Men. For those of you who thought it was Tosin on the cover, who hyped that one up, I think is the reason why that book hit print numbers or value numbers that are not. I don't think they're fair of a book that early. So the second print, if it is true to the rumors that I hear that a third printing is going to be announced and there are going to be allocations to second print, that means they went to print before second print was released. They based it off of earlier orders, and second print itself is going to blow out and be equivalent to the first printing. Now the cover is going to be the cover. So it's going to have that going for it. So James hit me with this thing. What's the one book you wish you hadn't gotten rid of? And what's the one book you put in your PC you will never sell? Can't ever say I wouldn't ever sell any, but I have a Transformers number 1 that was given to me by my wife that hangs on the wall behind me right here that has a love letter on the back of it. And it's on the frame. So that one is the one that I would never sell. There's a bunch of books that I wish I wouldn't have sold during COVID, but unfortunately they were necessities. Unemployment wasn't approved for me in my profession until a forced, basically a court order was like, you have to give these guys unemployment. And then I filed for it and I was supposed to get back unemployment and it never happened. So shut down and all the other good stuff. I sold a lot of books, including Ultimate Fallout 4, Vengeance 1, Diodato 1 in 15 variant. Let's see, Spider Women Alpha number 1. Young Avengers number 1. I mean, I honestly got rid of a ton of huge keys because I was like, I got a car payment to pay. Because during the pandemic, unfortunately, the companies weren't really giving you a huge break on things if you're shut down. They're like, oh, well, you still owe your car payment, you still owe your insurance, you still owe your credit card payments, you still owe your mortgage, you still owe all these things. It's a lot for a person, So thankfully, comics, believe it or not, those comics got me through. So while I do miss them, they did serve their purpose, and I'm really cool with that. And then we got N Massive saying Black Panther 3 is the only new key of the last 5 years I didn't get a copy of. Thanks a lot, COVID. There'll be others. There will be others. And you know what? With the second print, let's just say it does get allocated, right? It's going to go third. Ooh, which independent superhero series? Man. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Because there's not too many indie superhero series that I'm all about. I like some indie books, but my indie taste is very, very, very eclectic. So it's like Tokyo Ghost, Seven to Eternity, you know, obviously Transformers. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some other ones that I really, really like. You know, I really have to think about that one because I don't know if there is other superhero indie stuff that I really like, other than stuff that's grossly hated by a lot of people. And that is like the Extreme Studio stuff from the 90s, like Blood Wolf. Hunter's Moon. So the big deal and massive is the guy who appears, Dr. Badshir, who appears in issue number 1. He apparently had only a cameo in that issue, and issue 3 is his first appearance, and the 1 in 25 incentive for issue 3 of the latest Moon Knight run is apparently a very, very popular book right now, after issue 8 showing him on the cover. Got all that? So it's just one of those things that I'm watching. Of course, I'm a big fan of a lot of Moon Knight variants, and in fact, if you follow me on IG, I dropped a firebomb of a post earlier, especially if you like Moon Knight Mondays. Strongest Avenger. If you don't believe me, you should read Avengers 33 through 37? Yeah, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Yes, those issues. You know, it's the one where Moon Knight gives him the business. So Freddy's got me thinking about some things, man. Like Gen 13, like, you know, old Campbell stuff. I collect that first miniseries and then the number 1 ongoing with all the cool variant covers, the Brady Bunch, you know, the Janet Jackson, and all those other things from issue 1, and also issue number 1 from Gen 13. I believe this is crazy comic knowledge for you guys. I think it's the first blank sketch variant. 1990s. So think about that for a minute. I'm looking to see if there's ever been like a blank sketch variant, draw your own cover type of scenario that was ever offered prior to that book. Because that would be amazing. So you guys got anything else for me? You guys gonna try to play Stump the Ultra while I'm in studio and I don't have a phone in my hands to look stuff up and see how smart I actually am. Marvel Man wanting to know the keys to the future. Well, if you want to know that information, my good sir, you just need to watch the Secret variant. And then to double check your work, you're going to watch the Wednesday Night Comic Presser the days after the Secret variant airs. And that's going to be how you can confirm whether or not you and I agree on a pick, because I try not to oversell it. You guys know I just try to show everything so I can keep the haters who don't actually like read a lot of the books or like know what's going on from being able to steal my spec. It's ingenious, isn't it? Ooh. Well, Brad, for that, I would be placing a phone call on the daily and asking for an update as to the location of my item, because that seems like a very valuable book that you would want to know the location of. Is there a possibility of a GPS tracking service being included in some of these things in the near future? Because I'm sure that would benefit us all. Yes. Yes, yes. What else you guys got? 340. I gotta go let the German Shepherd in from his prowling in the backyard, barking at the neighbors and agitating them. It's trash night, so I gotta get that out, and he's gonna follow me out there while I'm taking the trash out. And he's gonna bark at everybody walking by, and it's awesome. It's awesome. You guys should get yourself a defense mechanism like a German Shepherd. Biting pressure, I forget how many 100 pounds it is, but it's ridiculous. Anyway, Oh, come on, Marvel, man. You know that's definitely gimmicky, but here's the thing. No matter how gimmicky something is, if there's enough people who believe in it, even the most gimmicky, unlovable characters can sometimes get a cult following that will amaze you, and you'll be like, why do people collect this? For me, I see a lot of Marvel lately, like a very young child just saying, I'm going to take these two characters, I'm going to put them together. And that's what they do. I mean, Spider-Gwen is that, but there was a whole bunch of other Spider people. The Weapon H thing, Weapon H is that. You know, there's a lot of people out there. But this What If Miles, basically where it's showing him as Captain America, is only the first. They're going to show him as Wolverine. And they're basically trying to establish that there's a Miles verse, there's a Gwen verse, there's a Peter verse, there's there's going to be, at one point they're going to do a Peter Porker verse. I mean, it's crazy, but this is true. So I don't know how I feel about it, but there's a 1 in 200 incentive to try to drive sales, and I think it's going to work. It's the same with, some other gimmicks. Like I'm not really a big fan of the Demon Days universe. Wolverine's a dog. Like, no, absolutely not. Immediately no. So I don't know. Buy what you like, though. If you're a big fan of Miles, they're probably going to be a pretty good read. And all you can do is try to pre-order to stay ahead of the curve. And, of course, if you want that 1 in 200, you run the risk of one of two things. Either the book's a flop, and the 1 in 200 plummets in value, and you lose, the hundreds of dollars it takes to buy. I think it's like a $5.99 book, too. The upside is the book is so popular that the 1 in 200 is so collectible and so rare because stores didn't order that big, and all of a sudden you got a huge success. However, I think there's a lot of store exclusives. Anytime you have a book with a lot of store exclusives, you have to remember that store, if they are getting a Marvel exclusive, it's 4,500 copies. They are getting the 1 in 200 at ratio for those copies. They're getting all the incentives, in fact. They're paying for them, but they're paying the $2 or whatever their diamond discount is. So this is what you guys need to remember, and this is the reason why I tell you to hit up those people, especially when you are doing your ordering, and be like, hey, do you guys have any of the incentive? I'd like to buy one if you do. Send them a message. Be quite surprised to find the responses sometimes. So, all right, 344. Anybody else got anything crazy to ask me? Did the Super Soldier Serum make me taller? The first one I took was a child did, yes. The one I took when you were here. I wasn't about to be 5'5", everybody. No offense to my 5'5" friends. Short friends. Appreciate you guys. I'm here to hit my head so you don't. What a fun day. So I hope you guys got a good Valentine's Day planned with your significant others. And on that note, I can't see any other crazy questions coming at me, but I enjoyed answering in open honesty. Because honesty in comics and integrity in comics is very important to me, as you guys know. And remember, integrity is what you do when people aren't looking, huh? So on that note, leave me a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to all the wonderful people in the featured comics or the featured channel section. Lots of comic book content there for you guys. And even though some of these guys have less than the 1,000 subscribers that some of the big people do, you guys know there's good content there. Don't forget to also sub up to the Mighty Mel V and check me out on Friday nights, aka Saturday mornings at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but Friday night 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. The secret variant, of course, is the episode I just dropped yesterday. That is the Final Order Cutoff Show. You know you want some of that. You still got maybe like an hour and 15 minutes, I think, to get your orders in. So go ahead and watch that episode next. Subscribe also to the Wednesday Night Comic Book Presser, which is the most sophisticated, interactive, live stream podcast about new comic book release day on the internet, hands down. That's why y'all love it, and you come back on the regular, come and see me. And I appreciate all the loves and shares, and of course for all of you unsubscribed viewers, you guys are the best too, even though you refuse to sub to the channel. But we're on our way to 1,100 subs, and I really appreciate that. And I want to say thank you all for watching. See you next time. Don't get lost in the shuffle.